Hi guys. Happy Tuesday. I almost said happy Monday because it feels like a Monday for me. I hope you guys had a really good holiday weekend. I am going to do a nice, simple, basic start today, but I'm going to make it a little bit special by making it with ribbon because we haven't done a ribbon ornament in a little while. So I thought that would be a fun change. Let me just check my settings, make sure I'm all good. And because I've been changing some stuff around here in the last couple of hours. Hi Beth, how are you? Hi Kat. Hi Sherry. Hi Christina. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I know it's Tuesday, so the weekend has been over, but it feels like it just ended for me, so. Hi Brenda, hi Judy. Hi Nancy V. Hi Nancy K. Hi Donna. Hi Christy. So look at this pretty ribbon I have for today. We're going to make this our main color. Actually, let me zoom in just a little bit. I feel like I'm a little bit far away. So this is going to be a pretty one. We're going totally Christmas today because we haven't done that in a bit. Did I say hi to you, Christy? If not, hi. Beth said doing good, listening to a thunderstorm. I am too. Well, it's not quite storming yet, but there's a lot of thunder out there, so we'll see. It keeps threatening to storm. For the past couple of days, it's just threatening and threatening, but not actually doing anything. Beth said, hi, Stacy Ann, dropping in for only a few minutes. That's okay. We'll take what we can get. Hi, Shalia. Hi, Sherry. Sherry said, can't wait to see this one. Me either. Hey, Michelle. Becky said, hey, y'all. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Susan. Lots of you guys here today. That's exciting. Christy said we had a 20-minute hailstorm yesterday. Very unusual for Wyoming. Hi, Beverly. Sherry said today is my daughter's birthday. Well, happy birthday to your daughter. Did you make her an ornament? Hi, Debbie. Christina said 4th was good. Won the decorate the boat contest too. Wow. You're doing awesome with the decorating. Right after the fireworks, a storm blew up on us quick. What a mess that was. Bad wind on a boat, not fun. No, that is not fun. Oh, you know what I'm going to do, you guys? I'm going to cut the edge off of these gold pieces because this ribbon is so sheer that we're going to be able to see that through. I'm going to keep the edge on this ribbon and I'm going to cut it off of this gold like accent color ribbon that we're using. It's kind of up to you when you're doing these ribbon ornaments how you want to do it. But I feel like since we're going to have the line showing on that other ribbon, that this will be better to cut that edge off. And I'm thinking too now that I did that, that might make this a little too narrow. So I might have to use whole pieces for the outer layer. I think for this inner layer here, this very bottom layer, it'll be okay because only a small amount's going to show. Well, we'll have to play with that because see, it's not really reaching very far down. So we might need a little more ribbon showing on that next layer, the 3rd layer. You know what? I forgot to change to live chat. Let's fix that really quick and let me catch up. Hi, Peggy. Sherry said I cut my ribbon wrong. Oh no. How'd you cut it, Sherry? The other Sherry that's here said, not yet. I made her a cake and I decorated it. Well, that's a good one. That's like a good thing too. Kat said live chat, thumbs up and shared. Thank you, Kat. Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. I got a few buttons working again here, so I can pop up my dog picture again. Hooray. Hi, Terry. Terry said, hi, finally caught you live. Welcome, welcome. It sounds like maybe you've watched some replays. I'm happy that you caught us live too. Becky said, watching with our possibly new kitten, Binks. Uh-oh, possibly new kitten. How'd that happen? If you're saying that, it's not just possibly anymore. Sherry said, I always have issues with sheer ribbon. It is kind of experimental all the time when you're using ribbon, and especially sheer ribbon. So totally understandable. Like already I'm kind of rethinking how I'm going to have to cut mine. So I had started by cutting these couple of pieces that I had already cut. I cut them in half lengthwise, and I do like to do that when you have this 2.5 inch wide ribbon. But sometimes if you're cutting the edges off like I did, that really reduces the amount of width that you have. So you kind of have to play with it. And I definitely feel like for these 4 pieces it's fine, but for those next 4 or 8 pieces on layer 3, I don't think that this size is going to work. I think it's going to be a little bit just too short, or too, I don't know, just not enough. So we'll see. But yeah, it's always an experiment with ribbon. Very pretty and worth it when you can get it worked out. Nancy said, I've not been on for a few days. I was ready for a peaceful pinning. I was too, because it's been since Friday for me being on here. I ended up missing yesterday. I was home, but I was up in my attic for hours and hours yesterday cleaning it out. So I ended up just not doing the peaceful pinning yesterday. I was taking advantage of the day off from having no one here to get stuff done around the house. And somehow I wound up in the attic cleaning it up. Do you guys remember a while ago, gosh, it's been weeks, I think at least, I was telling you how my sister was trying to sell her house up in Maryland, and that she might be coming to Florida and she might be staying with me for a while. Well, guess what? She did sell her house, and she's coming here like the 25th. So I'm trying to make room, and that's probably what led me to the attic cleanup, putting stuff away, trying to make room for her in one of my bedrooms. She's actually going to take over 2 bedrooms for the little while that she's here. I'll set this over here for a second. Debbie said, how wide are your ribbons? That's a really good question. So this first ribbon that I did, the gold, is 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches wide. This one is, I think, 1.5. Yes, this one's 1.5. So when it's 2.5 inches, I will try to cut it in half lengthwise to get double the amount out of it. As you will see, it doesn't always work that way. And I'm not sure it will for the rest of this, but for this width, you won't be able to obviously cut it in half lengthwise. So it'll be like, we're cutting like a little over 3 inches long. It just kind of depends on the ribbon and how wide it is. With this width, I'm going a little more than 3 inches just to give me a little bit extra reach. Let's see how this works. And for this one, I think I do want to show that gold edge. I think it'll be pretty. When it comes to showing the gold edges, I sort of play it by ear. If it's like a nice, pretty, simple edge like this one is, then sometimes I like to show it because it's pretty. It kind of adds to the pattern. And then sometimes if it's like a, I don't know, like a printed ribbon or something that I just really want the focus to be on the print that's on the ribbon itself, then I will fold over the edge so that you can't really see that edge as much. Hi, Carol. Carol said, hello, everyone. I just watched an old, whoops, it jumped on me. An old peaceful pinning from the beginning. You made a Halloween prairie pinwheel and it was painfully quiet. Hardly any yapping. Wow, it must have been one of the first few, right? Hi, Phil. Christina said, my dad taught me well. Betty said, hello, everyone. Nice day here in Marietta, Georgia. Christina said, Becky, aw, new kittens are so fun and cute. Yeah, if you've got that new kitten romping around and you're saying maybe a new kitten, you're in trouble. Debbie said, I just changed to live chat as well. Okay, I know I'm a few minutes behind in the chat too, guys. Sorry about that. Already, right off the bat, I'm behind. Brenda said, I had a panic attack this morning. I noticed the confirmation email that my little white box was delivered yesterday. It wasn't at my house. Here, my husband took it to work with him and forgot to tell me. How dare he? I'm glad it's safe and sound. Glad that it was found and it's safe and sound. Debbie said, hey, puppies. I was excited to get these buttons working again. They're not all working yet again, but I'm getting there. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Carmen. Judy said, I have a grandcat named Binks. Peggy said, love the possibly. That's funny. Hi, Jean. Jean said, hello, everyone. I hope you had a great 4th. You too. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut a few pieces at a time now. I think I'm happy with how that's looking. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Becky said, he showed up at church and are waiting on one of the kiddos' dads to agree for her to take him. Our granddaughter named him after the cat on the movie Hocus Pocus. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I love that movie. Sherry said, do you have any tricks to making the pieces meet at the edges but not leaving a space in the center? Making the pieces meet at the edges but not leaving a space in the center. So let me make sure I'm understanding your question. So are you talking about this fold here where you're making these two pieces meet here in the center where they're kind of overlapping a little bit and not having a gap? Is that what you mean? Or is it something different? Oh, are you talking about in the very, very center? It could be either of those two things. It could be neither of those two things. Let me know which one of those, like the piece that I'm doing now, if that's kind of what you're asking, or if you're talking about the very, very center. Yes, I see that you said yes, the gap. So you mean like here. So I always just do a little bit of an overlap. So I fold it down the left side and then I'm folding down the right side so that it overlaps just a little bit. Like I don't want it to overlap too much because I don't want to make it kind of go askew. I want that line to be really straight, but it's kind of just enough to be able to put one pin through both halves to hold it in place. And if you do that little overlap, then you won't have a gap in the middle. So one pin there. I know that like the really like old-fashioned way of doing these ornaments with fabric, and it uses squares usually, when you fold down those two sides, you pin them separately, and I feel like that just allows a gap to happen so much more easily. And plus you use extra pins than you would have used it this way. So this way saves a pin on each piece too, which is nice. Now watch when I go to smooth down my pieces, you don't want to pull, because see, you could pull it back apart a little bit. So you want to be kind of gentle. Let me put them back together since I yanked them apart. Be kind of gentle, just push it down enough to hold it flat, but not so much that you're yanking them apart. And if you feel like you're still getting a gap, just maybe do a little extra overlap. And Sherry also said, but my triangles don't meet at the edges. Well, not always. I I don't know. I don't know if I know exactly what you mean there. I'm trying to think. If you don't, like, they don't mean at the bottom edges? Is that what you're saying at that, for that? Sorry that it's hard for me to understand exactly what you're getting at. I wish you could show me. Let me back up, and if there's anything I'm not understanding, then please clarify, and I will do my best to try to help. Carmen said, good news about your sister's arrival. Yeah, I think she's pretty excited to be coming down to Florida. She'll be the only sister. She is the only sister that's not in Florida, but now she'll be here. So there will be no more sisters anywhere else. Christina said, I'm making the Star Spun OG kit from June 2025. Fun pattern and goes quick and super easy. I am so glad you like it. You guys, I'm so glad you brought that up because I wanted to tell you that I think on Thursday, I'm going to go live in our Facebook group, in the Ornament Girls Facebook group, instead of here on YouTube. I don't know if I'm going to do that every week, but I did want to start going live in our OG Facebook group because I haven't done it in a long time. And I want to do like some of our ornament kits, our past ornament kits, and our club patterns. So maybe it'll be once a week. It might be a couple times a month. I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to see how it goes. But for those of you guys who are Ornament Girls Club members, I'm thinking Thursday is when I'm going to go live in the Facebook group. So I hope you guys will be able to join me. Becky said, Christina, yes, they are. I just don't need any more fur babies. Totally get that. Sometimes these wires are a little bit more difficult to get out. Sometimes they're real easy and sometimes they're hard to get. Kathy said, yeah, for you. Yay for you, Stacy, and it will be so nice to have your sister there. I wish I could see my sister for a longer period of time. It's usually a few days. Yeah, hopefully after a week or two, we won't be ready to kill each other. But for the most part, I think it's going to be really nice. She wants to stay here for a little while and look around and eventually get a house here. But she doesn't want to rush into it. You know, she wants to spend some time getting to know the area and everything first. So it'll be nice. Plus, I love house hunting. So that's going to be really fun to do together. Hi, Tammy. Judy said, I'm currently working on a 6-point basic star swirl. So far, so good. Oh, good. You'll have to let us know how it comes out. I don't think I did the 6-point one yet, did I? I did the 5-point. I don't think I ever did the 6. We've had like a couple week break from the basic star swirl, you guys. I'm going to have to get back to it. Hey, Louise. Becky said, I saw a Christmas ribbon at Costco the other day. Somebody had mentioned that last week about the Christmas ribbon at Costco. I want to go look. Because that's like the Kirkland's brand, right? Isn't that... Am I mixing that up? I think it's the Kirkland's brand with those big rolls. And I always like that ribbon. Hi, Chris. Debbie said, Kathy, thinking of you as I heard the actual temperature in Phoenix and Tempe areas is supposed to be 116 tomorrow. Be safe and stay inside. That's crazy. Nancy K said, sorry, it jumped on me again. Nancy K said, I'm still waiting for the Promise Angel and the number 2 bird ornament and some embellishments to arrive. They're on tour. They're on a tour of the states. They left Florida on June 26th and went to Indiana and now in Springfield, Ohio. Who knows when they will be delivered? Nancy, they definitely are going off script. That's crazy. Does it show that they're still on the way, or does it show that, I mean, I guess it does if you're seeing where it is currently located. But gosh, that sounds like they're lost. You're going to have to keep us updated about that in case we end up having to send a replacement. Carmen said, I have so much ribbon. I need to work up some ornaments or Kimmy Comey. Yeah, you got to use that ribbon. I have a ton of ribbon too, Carmen. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I got to do something with all this ribbon. So here we are. Sherry said, but my triangles don't meet at the end. Oh, I read that one already. Nancy K said, oh, I read that one already. Sherry said, I'm having a hard time explaining. I totally understand. And I'm having a hard time understanding because I can be a little ditzy sometimes. Hopefully the one hint that I already gave you will help, but oh, Christy said, Sherry, I have trouble with the center 4 meeting correctly. I just keep adjusting until it's better. Oh, the center 4. Yeah, that's usually what people will ask me about because it's really easy to get foam gaps showing through from in the middle. And we have a video here on YouTube that's specifically about that, hiding those foam gaps. But if you're talking about like the bottoms of your edges not being even, they actually don't always have to be. I mean, if you really were paying attention to mine, they're not always even with each other. As long as they're covering like you want them to, then that's really the most important part. See how I have a little bit of extra, like, you can kind of see both the gold edges at the top of this. That's because of where I put my pin. I put my pin probably a little too close to the edge, and so then it wasn't able to overlap each other right from the tippy top of the point. And so that could be a factor too. You might need to move your pin a little bit further down so that you can get more overlap as you're folding. Carmen said, family is so important. Yes, it is. Tammy said, do you know what time you'll be on Thursday? I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 4 or 4:15. I will probably do a post, Tammy, in the Facebook group ahead of time because it'll be the first time I've done it in a long time, and I just want to give people a heads up that I'm going to go live. Hopefully I can figure it out because I haven't gone live in there in a while. I'm so used to going live on YouTube now that I just click a button and boom, I'm on. But I'm going to be aiming probably for about 4:15 Eastern time. Nancy V said, I think that Sherry means her folded edges aren't meeting without a gap in the middle of the triangle fold. The folded edges aren't meeting without a gap in the middle of the triangle fold. So these two here, they won't meet without a gap. I'm not sure how that would happen. I've got to be misunderstanding the question. Christy said, I've never watched a Facebook Live. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting, Christy. So I did a few Facebook Lives a couple years ago. It's definitely been a couple years. I did a couple of them. I even did a couple of them with Monica back in the day. There was one where I had my audio all screwed up and my voice was completely garbled. Everybody could hear her, but they couldn't hear me. So she had to interpret. Hopefully anything like that won't happen. Michelle said, hi everyone, hope all the USA OGs had a great 4th of July. Thank you, Michelle. Terry said, Tammy, my question too. Oh, about the time? 4:15 is what I'm aiming for. Carmen said, I need to find help setting up Facebook. Yes, you do, Carmen. You know what? I cut these in half, not thinking. Let me try them out. I was thinking I might have to use whole pieces. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I cut these pretty long. I think it might work. Yeah, that should be good enough. Okay, good. I can see my edges just a teeny bit. You know why? Because I didn't cut them off. Let's cut off those edges. Derp, derp, derp. Okay, that's better. Sherry said, yes, Christy, that's it, but I also have issues with the outside pieces as well. The outside pieces as well. Gosh, I wish I could like see you and you could show me. Christina said, I hope I catch it. I have an eye doctor at 4:15. Will we be able to watch it afterwards? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up in the group. It'll be just like here on YouTube where I go live. It's gonna be kind of like peaceful pinning. It will just be making one of the kits. I'm thinking I might make I might start with this last month's Twisted Snow Globe ornament, but I kind of want to just go back in time and make some of our older kits and stuff, because I know the whole reason is because I know that there's a ton of you guys who are in the club who are letting your little white boxes stack up. So I'm just hoping that maybe I can inspire some of you guys to catch up on your kits as well, just like I'll be doing. So it'll just be for fun, and I'm gonna leave them up in the group. Debbie said, oh no, Facebook I do not have. Guess I'll have to get someone to help me. I don't want to miss all of you. Debbie, if you can get into the Facebook group, I think you would really love it, because it's fun anyway. Like, aside from catching the live, which I'm hoping will be fun just like this one is, but there's so many people that, like, there's so many good ideas that get posted. People making our monthly patterns with all different colors and themes and styles, and it's just really awesome. There's so many good ideas that get shared in there that I would definitely recommend that you join the group anyway. Sherry said, my brother is just fine in PA. It jumped on me again. Sorry guys, whenever I get way behind, it's like YouTube saying, catch up. Okay, there we are. Tammy said the 6-point basing star swirl works really well for rainbows. I was thinking it would be perfect for rainbows, because that one I did with the 8 points, it wasn't as good as it could be, I think. I had to add in like pink and purple, and it sort of messed it up a little bit. Let's remember to cut off the edges here. I'll use my sharper scissors for this. I was using the crappy scissors for the wired parts because I didn't want to ruin these scissors. Judy said, are you still planning to do a tutorial for the basic star swirl? Yes, I definitely want to. I definitely have it planned out enough. Like, we did enough prototyping and experimenting here on Peaceful Pinning. I just need to sit down and do it. Uh-oh, I pulled this right through the pen. I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. I was manhandling that piece way too much. Sherry said yes, Kirkland. That's what I thought. The first Kirkland ribbon that I had bought years ago was from eBay. I didn't even realize it was from Costco originally. April said, yeah, Carmen, I'm in the same. I'm the same. I don't know how to set Facebook up. I'm not computer savvy. That might be a blessing in disguise in some ways. I don't use Facebook for anything else except to have the Ornament Girls group. I almost never get on my regular Facebook because it can be a trap. But still, you should get on it to go on the Ornament Girls Facebook group. Kat said, my mom and I used to go to open houses all over just to see what they were like. We weren't interested in buying, we were just nosy. I know, I feel the same. You can go and look and see how people decorate and like things that they do to their house and get ideas. I love it. Tammy said about 50 yards for $7 to $8 at Costco. And yes, Kirkland, that's good. And if it's this big wide ribbon like this, like the gold one, you can cut it in half and get even more out of it. Carmen said, April, I feel like I'm missing out so much. I'm not computer savvy either. Tracy said, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully I've not missed much today. No, you haven't, because I'm moving slow today. We've been on for like a half an hour, but I am moving slow. Becky said, yes, Kirkland's brand. I finished my first cutie pie. I posted it on Facebook, but I forgot to tag you, Stacy. I can still look for it. How do you like the ornament? I can't wait to make Kat's American pie version. I can't wait to make it. It's so cute. Tammy said, Nancy, I had that happen back in February. I ordered the Amethyst Angel the day it was released. I think it took 20 days to get here, but it finally came after touring Indianapolis for a while. I remember you talking about that, Tammy. It was on an adventure. Christina said, Nancy, oh no, I feel your pain. I have a box of Le Creux, did I say that right? Salad plates that are lost. Ugh. And those are expensive, aren't they? That's that expensive French brand of dishes. And I only live 1.5 hours from there. I hope they turn up. I don't think I said the name right, but I know which ones you're talking about. Judy said, I just got a birthday card today that was mailed on June 30th, less than 10 miles from my home. My sister could have walked it here faster. Sherry said, I did my first basic star swirl in Christmas fabrics. I posted it on the Facebook page. How did it come out? Nancy K said, it shows they've been in Springfield for a couple of days. I'm hoping they will arrive soon. Thank you. I hope so too. We'll all be crossing our fingers. And I hope that they are not lost. Carmen said, do we need Facebook if you go live? Yes. If you want to watch the Facebook Live, you will need to have a Facebook account because it'll be in our private Ornament Girls group. So you'll have to be in that group on Facebook with an account to see the live. Sherry said, okay, I know how to explain now. The little tips that make the stars are uneven. Like the little triangles the tips make. I can't even them out sometimes without spreading the ribbon. Okay. So you're talking about like you will end up kind of spreading your ribbon outside to side because you're trying to make your star look even. Do I have it now? I hope I do. I'm going to scroll to the bottom and see if you say yes or no, if that's correct. Oh, I'm way behind. Sherry said yes. So, okay. What I would do then, Sherry, if I were you, and this is a pain in the neck for a little while, but until you get, because what's making that happen is just the distance from the center. You're not getting even. So I would measure down every time you put a new piece on. Maybe stick a pin in the very, very center of your ornament so that you have one spot to keep measuring from for every piece, and then measure down the same amount on each one. On the first layer, I usually measure down like 3/8 of an inch. So every time you put a new piece on, measure down by that 3/8 of an inch. That should keep it more even so that you don't have to even it out by manipulating the ribbon. You're having to like make up for unevenness from the center by manipulating your ribbon, like widening it. Does that make sense? So you can avoid that by just making sure your distances are really even on every single one. After you get it though, you won't have to measure every single time. Like on this one here, I've made a million of these. That's why I'm not really measuring. Although if you did look closely, you would totally see some unevenness. But it does get easier after you do it a few times. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully that helped. Let me scroll back up to where I left off. Oh, guys, I'm so behind. I don't even know if I can catch up. Hey, Diane. April said, I think using ribbon makes the ornaments prettier, just my opinion. They're very pretty with ribbon. It's a different look. If you want to go for like that texture or sparkle or whatever, it's really neat to use ribbon. And there's so many different kinds of ribbon too, so it's interesting. Kathy said, Debbie, yes, all the blinds are closed, fans on. Once the sun goes down, we will be in the pool. 114 today, 116 tomorrow. It doesn't matter after 110. It's miserable. I'm glad you've got a pool to help you cool off. That's gotta help even though it's still so hot. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoop, I'm glad that wasn't the end of the roll. 8. April said, Carmen, we need to hang out together. I am in Colorado. Nancy T said, hello everyone, I'm a little late. That's okay, Nancy. We're glad you're here, and I am moving slow. And I'm sure you posted that comment 10 minutes ago. So. Lorette said, hi, Stacy and OGs. I'm on a vacation at the Jersey Shore, and I saw you were on, so I thought I'd sneak on and say hi. I was just at the pool chilling. Did you go to the burger place that Kat was recommending last week? Nancy said, Christina, I only live about 30 minutes from Springfield. It's the pits waiting on the USPS, especially when the box is so close to the delivery address. Christy said, Sherry, the first piece that I place normally for directly across, I place the piece on the foam so it's touching the first piece, and then I add the pin for the third piece to be continued. To be continued. There it is, continued. I put the pin in the fabric, and then I place the pin across where the first two pieces touch, and the same with the fourth. For the very center, you mean? Oh, I missed a whole piece. It's Spacey Stacy Day today. Christine said, hey everyone, I don't have much time, but I wanted a little peaceful pinning in my day. We are glad you're here, even if it's just for a short time. Kat said, sounds relaxing, lounging by the pool. That was to Lorette. Thank you, Christine. Christine said that ornament is gorgeous. The other cool thing about using ribbon is it's super lightweight. So this will be a really lightweight ornament even when it's all done, even with all these layers. Christy said, next Zoom, maybe we need to have one where we share tips and tricks and we can show our issues with an ornament. Christy, I love that idea. That's a great idea. It could be like a general tips and tricks kind of thing, or just like a peaceful pinning live where everybody just brings whatever they want to make and we can just chit chat. That'd be cool, right? Chit chat and ask questions or whatever, share tips and tricks. That would be super cool. Peaceful Pinning Zoom Edition. Judy said, I don't do Facebook. I'm sorry to miss it. I totally understand, Judy. I will be back on Friday. I'm trying to decide if I'll do the Facebook once a week or maybe like bi-weekly. I'm not really sure. I'm going to see how it goes on Thursday. But I think it would be fun to incorporate a live on Facebook at least a few times a month. But the rest of the time we will be here on YouTube. Tony said, hi everyone, haven't been able to get online. I'm glad you're here now. Nancy V said, that's me, my boxes are stacking up. I know, you are not alone, Nancy. It's a whole bunch of people. We hear that all the time. And so I'm hoping, you know, just like getting on here has kind of, I feel like, inspired people to get going on some ornaments and stuff. Hopefully going in the Facebook group and doing some of those kits will inspire people to get their kits out and make them. It's like you got to get over that hump of like opening the box and starting, and then it's easier. Sherry said, yes, Christy, that would be great. I totally agree. That's such a good idea. Hey, Robbie. Lorette said, I only have Facebook for my Ornament Girls account. When people ask me if I'm on Facebook, I tell them I am, but I don't have any friends. I can see people's pages depending on their settings. That's pretty smart. Lorette said, I only have Facebook. Oh, I read that one. April said, Stacy, you mentioned how the little white boxes stack up. That's what's going on with me, and I need to just do them. I feel your pain. We hear that so much. It can almost, like, the more they stack up, the more intimidating it becomes. So I'm aiming to do the Twisted Snow Globe. That's what it was called, right? Twisted Snow Globe. Let me just double check really quick. That way, if anybody wants to make it with me, you can. Uh-oh. My mouse just like started to die on me right when I was... Don't die on me, mouse. I need you. Yes, it was just this last one, July 2026. So most of you guys who are in the Christmas Club probably have that kit by now, right? So I'm thinking that's the one I'm going to do. It's the blue and red Twisted Snow Globe. That's what I'm going to aim for Thursday. In case anybody wants to make it with me. Hey, Martha. Terry said, stacked up so high that I literally had to write on the boxes what they are. Yes, Robbie said, is there going to be a Facebook Live? I am going to go live. My plan is to go live in the Ornament Girls Facebook group on Thursday, about 4 to 4:15-ish Eastern time on Thursday. Carmen said, I ruined my Ginger scissors making a penguin. Oh, no. Carmen, that's a bummer. I do have a bad habit of just grabbing them and using them all the time when I shouldn't. But today I was like, I'm cutting a bunch of pieces with all this wired ribbon. I really need to not use my good scissors for that. Donna said, we'll try making one with ribbon. So pretty. I'm glad you like it. I feel like the hardest part of this has been just the prepping the pieces and removing the wired part out of it. I'd probably be like mostly done by now if I weren't doing all that. Martha said this ornament is lovely, sparkly, and elegant. Thank you. I did a bunch more, not a bunch more, but I did a few with ribbon like towards the beginning of the Peaceful Pinnings back in the fall and before Christmas. I had done quite a few with ribbon. If you want to see other ideas. I don't think I used this ribbon. It was at the top of my stack, and when I looked at it, I was like, did I already use this ribbon once? But I didn't remember using it. Hopefully I'm not making the same ornament again that I've already made. Dogs are about to start howling, guys. I hear them. Carol said, I see I'm not alone when it comes to computer stuff. I just won't do Facebook. Just please don't give up YouTube. I'm not, Carol. Don't worry. We're still going to be here the other 4 days. Okay, puppies are saying hi. Puppies are asking for likes. Tammy said, I have 2 Facebook bookmarks, one to my main feed and one directly to the Ornament Girls. I usually only go to Ornament Girls, although my main feed is mostly cat videos and a local ASPCA site and family. Well, cat videos is another good thing to look at on Facebook. Sherry said, you make this so perfectly without measuring. You're such a pro. Sherry, thank you. If you looked at this closely, you would see all my mistakes. This one's very uneven. It's uneven enough that I'm going to have to fix it. Debbie said, I'm loving this ribbon ornament. Love the colors, so rich and elegant. Thank you, Debbie. I hope Vigo stops. They're not exactly doing the howl. It's not the daily howl. It's like an angry bark. Christy said, Mom and I went on a house tour once. The worst was the architect's house, that everything was black and white, and he had a glass hallway on the 2nd floor. That was when I was done in that house. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either. It sounds like kind of a modern vibe, and I mean, you know, if you like modern, that's cool, but it's not my vibe. Becky said, love it, very easy to make. Nancy said, Tammy, I have had it several times on different things. Kind of frustrating because there is another house that has the same number but a different road, and we get their mail quite frequently. That would be a pain. Peggy said, during the pandemic, the Facebook group saved my sanity. It was a true oasis in a world on fire. Even today, except for checking in with a few close friends and family, that's the only place I go. I'm glad that you're enjoying that still, Peggy. Thank you for posting that. I hope my dog stops barking. I'm so sorry, you guys. Christina said, yes, they are, and I love them. Their customer service isn't the best considering the price. So, oh yeah, this is about the dishes. Wow, I am behind. Their customer service should be the best ever. Some of those, I've looked at some of their like the baking dishes, and they are like hundreds of dollars. Or like the ones that go from like stove to oven. Carmen said, I want to make Cat's American Pie too. I haven't made any of the pies. Cat's American Pie is a very clever one. I just love it. I might have to shut my door, you guys, so that the dog's not quite so loud. Carmen just got her little white box. Christy said, I had live plans to sat in Denver for 5 days. I could have driven there and back 20 times. When I called, I was told that was what the sender wanted. Luckily, they were succulent, so they were okay. I'm glad they were okay. I would have been sitting here worrying the whole time. I'm going to close my door really quick, you guys. 1 second. Hopefully that helps a little bit. He's so loud, we'll still be able to hear it a little bit, but it won't be as bad. Tammy said, I can run over to Springfield and pick them up for you. I'm not that far away. Tony said, this ornament is beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Carmen said, thank you for the explanation. I wasn't sure if it was something like... Sorry, it just jumped on me again. Right in the middle of your comment. Oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if it was something like YouTube Lives. You're welcome, Carmen. We'll see how it goes. It's been so long, like I said. I have to like figure out the technical parts of going live on there still. Because whatever I did before, I know has changed since it was a couple years ago, but hopefully it'll go fine. Okay, there's my third layer, and this will be my first layer. Nancy K said that ornament is so pretty with the ribbon. Thank you, Nancy. Christy said, Kathy, anything over 80 is horrible for me. I might have cut those two a little extra long. Sherry said, I follow your videos and I still get them uneven. Maybe I'm just special. You are special, Sherry. Very special. And it really just takes practice, you know, getting them even. And like I said, some of mine are not even, but maybe they look like they're even on this video because you're not really seeing it in super, super clear detail. But it's kind of hard to always get them perfect, but I'm thinking that maybe measuring with a tape measure every time for a little bit might help. And definitely use a pin in the center, because if you're measuring off of that pin, it's at least that you're measuring this from the same point each time, because sometimes even if you're just eyeballing where you're measuring from, that can change a little bit. Kat said this ornament is so very pretty. Love these ribbons together. Thank you, Kat. Kathy said, Christy, I wish it was 80. Perfect for me. Yeah, 80 is like nice. Tammy said, my measuring tape is my best friend. Oh, Sherry, you have perfect weather. 64 in Connecticut. I'm so jealous. Carmen said, is that ribbon velvet with gold glitter? Dot, it's not. It looks like it, doesn't it? It's actually pretty thin. And it's actually kind of, I wouldn't say it's sheer, but it's close to it. But it has a really pretty look to it. It looks like it's velvety. Christy said, oh no, another piece of ribbon for the basket. Yeah, there will be a little bit of ribbon for the basket today after we're done with the bows. At least a little bit of this maybe, because I pre-cut some ribbon, and I'm sure there'll be some left over. We'll get that out on Friday. Possibly. I want to finish the rustic trees this Friday too. That was what I wanted to do last Friday, and I ended up not doing it because I did the patriotic angel. Michelle said, I still use the measuring tape, and still uneven sometimes. It adds to their charm. I agree. Oh, I didn't get that pin through both halves, so we'll use 2 pins there. Hey, Georgianne. Georgianne said, hi, listening as I drive home. Hi, Dana. Hi, Dubravka. Dubravka said, hello, Stacy and everyone. A bit late, making chili for dinner. That sounds good. Peggy said, Michelle, perfectly imperfect. Carmen said, April, I'm in California, north of the Golden Gate Bridge. Lorette said, I haven't had the burger yet, but I'm here until Sunday the 12th, and I plan to go. Always love recommendations. Judy said, the one ornament I totally gave up on was the January 2018 Gilded Heart. That one was a little bit more advanced. Yeah, that one took a little bit of playing with, for sure. finicky is a good word for that one. Nancy T said, I canceled my Christmas Club membership. I really didn't want to, but it was necessary. I still have my digital membership, so I won't miss anything. Oh, good. I'm glad that you won't miss the lives. And if you, like, even though you canceled your Christmas Club, I'm sure you probably have some boxes, right, that you could make with us still. Let's see. 5, 6. So we can hopefully help you catch up on the ones that you already have if you still have any that are not made. Nancy K said, I got it today. I will be making it with you. Terry said, which kit is it again for Thursday? I think I'm going to do the July Christmas Club kit, which is the blue, the turquoise blue and red twisted snow globe. Since that was the most recent one, but I am going to start combing back through old ones too. But I just figured since that was the most recent one and maybe the most chance of people having not done it yet, that we would do that one first. Brenda said, hopefully hubby returns mine before Thursday. Kat said, yep, mine came yesterday and I did it last night, the twisted snow globe, that is. Well, if you have any other ones that you haven't done yet, maybe you can do those with us, Kat. But awesome that you're a go-getter. You got it and made it in less than a day. Tammy said, my kit just came yesterday. I'll save it. I managed to pick up the August 2017 beach umbrella kit on eBay over the weekend. No way. Very excited because I have the pattern, but I haven't made it yet. Tammy, I'm so excited that you have that one, that you found that one. That was like, for me, I was really proud of that ornament. I was really proud of that design, but I will say that it was one of our least popular kits, but when you make it, it is so cute. We need to make that one in the group too. But people are like, this one's a little out there. I thought it was so cute. Nancy said, got to run, need to cook dinner. I'll watch the replay. Have a great night, everyone. You too, Nancy. Wow, I am so behind. Okay, well, here's where you guys are saying hi to the puppies. Jean said, I'm working on March 2026, the Jasmine, but at a standstill. I need to iron the arrow folds and I keep putting it off. Yeah. Don't you hate that when you come across like a barrier? Uh-oh. Let's redo that one. Debbie said, woof, woof, Vigo and Ivy. Martha said, hi, puppies. Jean has about 80 old little white boxes. Jean, we are going to get you making some of those boxes. That's the goal. That's the goal. Tammy said, my husband and I still joke about a house that we looked at years ago. We referred to it as the Hobbit house. We had to duck to go through the doorways. I would have loved that. Sherry said, we can barely hear the puppy. Oh, really? That's good. It sounded like, to me, it felt like it was so loud and obnoxious. Kat said, I don't like the newer design of houses. I don't like when the garage doors stick out in front of the front door. It's so ugly to me. The front door port should be the curb appeal. I definitely tend to gravitate towards older houses now in my older age. I just like a house to look homey and cozy, and I'm not into modern style at all. So yeah, that's just me. I know everyone's different, but Kat said, also I don't like a house that doesn't have a kitchen that is its own room and large. That open floor plan thing, I think you meant sticks. After all, the kitchen's the heart of the home. My house has like a big open kitchen that goes like opens to the living room and stuff, but I have to admit that sometimes I wish it was its own private little room, because when I'm cooking, I cannot talk to people. I can't multitask, and if like it seems like we always end up having Thanksgiving at my house, and if people are trying to talk to me, I can't do it. I'm like, you guys are gonna have to leave me alone. Like, you have to walk away and leave me alone. Talk to each other and I'll pay attention, kinda, but you can't expect me to be conversing with you, or we'll never eat. If you want to eat, you have to be quiet and leave me alone. Tammy said, when I graduated high school, my mother's best friend sent a package from California to East Liverpool, Ohio, clearly labeled right zip code. I got it 6 weeks later via Liverpool, England, and Liverpool, New York. Oh my gosh. Carol said, I'd love to see Kat's American Pie. Will you show it on a peaceful pinning? That's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to make one on a peaceful pinning. If I had one to show you now, I would, but I haven't made it yet. But it's basically like the pie pattern, but she did stars in the upper left corner, blue with like beaded stars and sequins and stuff, and then red and white stripes with ribbon on the rest of it. And it is so cute. Just so cute. She showed us on the Zoom last week. And everybody loved it. Denise said, sorry if I'm re-asking. Will the Facebook Live be on the main feed page or a special location? And is there a way to get a notification? It'll be in the Ornament Girls group, so you would have to go into the Ornament Girls Facebook group to see it. But I think if you're a member in that group, and that's for club members and stuff, and so if you're in that group, I think you'll get a notification. But I do have a feeling it might be a little bit like YouTube, where it's kind of hit or miss. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know like if I can schedule it the way I'm able to do here sometimes. And if I can, I will. To where you could go into the group and like see if it's at the top of the page scheduled. Other than that, I think you'll have to go into the group at that time and see if you see it. After I do one, I'll be able to answer that question better. But since I haven't done it yet, I'm not sure 100% how it's going to show up for you guys. Diane said that looks very beautiful and elegant. Thank you. Becky said I got my twisted snow globe today. I also found some vintage looking red and cream ticking striped fabric and blue with cream stars fabric to try and make Kat's USA cutie pie. That'll be so cute. Sherry said, I now know what it is. I've only used your marked balls a few times and I have to create my own lines, and that's where the problems have to be. Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess if your lines aren't even, then that would have something to do with it. I definitely think the line balls are like the easiest way to go, of course. But yeah, maybe if they're not even when you're making the line, making your own lines, maybe that would have something to do with it. I need to have you show me, Sherry. Peggy said, I got my Christmas Club little white box yesterday and I made it today. I never do them in a timely manner. And of course, this is the time I should have waited. Well, you can still hang out with us and maybe do a different box, Peggy. I'm hoping to do this ongoing though. So maybe next month, Peggy, you can hold on to it until we go live. Dana said, I wonder what these ribbons would look like in a pine cone. You know what? So with the pine cones and doing ribbons, it can be really, really super pretty. If you're doing that reverse triangle fold where you've got the points turned around, it's nice to leave the wire in, because then you could actually like kind of shape the points of your pine cone and it looks really, really neat. So that's something, we need to do one of those. We need to do one of those on a Peaceful Pinning. Have I done a pine cone yet on Peaceful Pinning? I think I did one, but it was with fabric. We should do one with ribbon. It would be really pretty. Tammy said, just make sure you use the same measurement on both sides. I have one that I measured 3/8 on one side and 5/8 on the other. I've done that before too. Especially when I'm eyeballing and I'm not measuring at all. I've noticed that sometimes I will have a much bigger star on one side than on the other side. Judy said, now that I have a few more years under my belt, I need to try it again. Yes, for sure. The Gilded Heart, yes. Dubravka said, I love what you're making. Beautiful. What is this pattern? This is just the regular old basic star pattern, Dubravka. And I put a link down below in the description to the 3-part video workshop that I have with this pattern. In that workshop, I'm using fabric instead of ribbon, but it's the exact same pattern. Everything's going on in the same order, same pattern and everything, just different material. Kat said, yes, it does look like velvet ribbon. I thought it was velvet too. It does have a velvety look. All right, I'm going to do a little trimming here. We got 2 more layers to go. He is having a time in there. He is just yipping away. I'm thinking that like a ball must have rolled under the bed or something. Christina said, speaking of picking up a kit on eBay, I found the very first club kit that you did. I was so dang excited. I'm on a mission to try to get the ones I've missed since I joined. Crazy, I know. Christina, when did you find that? Because that first one is really hard to find. That's awesome that you found it. Which was also turquoise and red. Like the Christmas Club kit that we just did. It was a turquoise and red snowflake pattern. And we did the snow globe pattern for the ornament. On a rough foam ball, you guys, because we didn't have the smooth balls in bulk yet. Looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Tammy said, my husband and I are both summer babies, so I like the summer ornaments. I do too. And that might have been the thing that people didn't like because, you know, it was like so out there to do a summer theme for a Christmas ornament. But let me tell you what, that ornament looks adorable on the Christmas tree. I have attempted to take a picture of mine on the Christmas tree a couple years in a row because it looks so cute, but then in the pictures it doesn't really show it. But there's something about that ornament that is just really cute on the tree. Even though it's a beach umbrella. And then when Monica did the parasol pattern a couple of years later, she did a beach ball version with the same colors of fabric, and the two of them look so cute together. The beach ball and the umbrella. Kat said, the beach umbrella is awesome. The underneath pattern is so gorgeous. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Suzanne said, hi, everyone. Making patriotic angels. The foam under the first one looks like... sorry. It jumped on me again. Darn it. Where are you, Suzanne? There it is. The foam under the first one looks like Swiss cheese. Took her apart 5 times. Was going to give up, but I didn't. Have 5 bodies done, working on the 6th, and then I'll do the heads. I'm glad you didn't give up, Suzanne. That's not the first time you've made angels, right? You've done them before. Just that one in particular giving you a hard time. That one, the dress on the patriotic is different. So I totally get it. I bet you got it down now after 6 of them. Lorette said, I love the beach umbrella kit. I have it displayed next to a handmade beach umbrella picture frame that my granddaughter made for me. I love that. Thank you for saying that, Lorette. Carmen said, I've had to store most of my ornaments since the flood. Jerry will be very happy to see them made. We're here for you, Jerry. We're here for you. Hi, Shirley. Roseanne said, hello, OGers. I haven't made a ribbon ornament yet. You make it look so easy, Miss Stacy. Thank you, Roseanne. I hope I have inspired you to try one. Tammy said, I keep hoping to find the little white box that people didn't want to make, so I try to check eBay every so often. This is the first one I found. That's so awesome. That was definitely one that people didn't want to make. Jean said, I have done 16 so far. I just don't open the closet door to see the rest trudge forward. You mean fall forward? I would imagine if there's 80 boxes up in there, you open the door and whoosh. We're going to try to help you out with that, Jean. Deborah said, so today I made a bronze, I hit send. Today I made a bronze gold basic star with ribbon and fabric. And then yesterday I used some red and black check fabric with red and black ribbon on a basic star. I did not take the wire out. Sometimes you can totally get away with not taking the wire out. If it's a really thin wire, it's pretty easy to just keep it in there. And then some of the wires are a lot thicker and it makes it really hard to fold it really evenly. And so those ones I definitely take out. The kind of wire that I absolutely despise, and I won't even buy the ribbon when it has it, is those like crimpy, it's not even really wire. It's like the whole edge of the ribbon is like a crimped over stiff wired edge. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's usually like metallic, gold or silver. Ugh, I can't stand it. I can't use it. Unless the ribbon is really wide and I can just cut it off completely. That's the only way I'll use that. But I'll usually try to avoid that kind of wired ribbon. Tammy said, I found the perfect blue fabric in my stash for it, blue with white stars. I think I need to try and make the American Pie, but the dang song won't leave my head now. Yeah, Kat put that song in everyone's head for like all summer. We got it all summer. Kat said, Tammy, LOL, but with my new lyrics or with Don's original lyrics? Tammy said you created an event for reflection. Are you talking about in Facebook? The Weird Al lyrics, Tammy said. Deborah said, I like the way the wire lined up with the fabric. I'm working on the basket pattern with a Halloween theme. I've been gluing eyes peeking out. That is a versatile pattern. That sounds cute. I would like to see that. We have a little pattern coming soon. I think it's going to be a freebie on YouTube that Sherry came up with a while back. I think we're planning to try to release it this year, but it's like, it looks like boarded up, like a boarded up door with eyes peeking out. Robbie said, so much fun to make it. Thank you, Kat. Suzanne said, yes, Facebook, you can schedule ahead. I watch lives for Home Shopping Network Crafties from Diamond Press. Love Beth. She's funny. Okay, I will try to figure that out. So if I had done it before for reflection, what did I do for reflection? Did I do that live? I don't remember. My memory is starting to fail me in my old age, you guys. Tammy said, Kat, alternatively, the Pittsburgh Penguin lyrics when Mario Lemieux, am I saying that right? Retired bye-bye French Canadian guy and drove my Beamer to the igloo past the parking lot guy. Becky said, oh, Dana, that sounds pretty. Sherry said, I wish I could purchase more than 6 balls at a time. I sell the ornaments at craft fairs, so I need lots of balls. Sherry, if you send us an email, we can do a custom quote for more at a time. So let us know. We can help you out with that for sure. Kat said, Tammy, I've never heard that one. I'll have to look for it. Christina said, I so need to make a ribbon one. I've got so much of it. Yep. Another thing to have to collect and use. Nancy said, do you have a list of things that you want to do on Peaceful Pinning? It sounds like a wonderful list. I had written a few things down in the past. I think we hit all those things. And there was some things I forgot to write down because I thought of it a little while ago today. The rosebud. I've said it a couple times and then I forget that I want to do a rosebud on Peaceful Pinning. I need to start a new list and write these things down and then write down you guys' suggestions. We want to do the American Pie version of Cutie Pie. I'd like to do a rosebud. Suzanne asked for Wrapped Up last week, was it? Or 2 Fridays ago? I think, right, Suzanne? Was that you that asked about doing Wrapped Up on a live? Okay. We're getting there. I feel like I've sped it up a little bit. I've gotten into a groove. Okay, we just have one more layer. I am covered in glitter. Look at all the glitter on my hands. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just kind of caked on my hands. I don't think I realized that this was that glittery. Kat said, Robin, your pies came out so good. Glad you had fun doing them. Did you post them in the Facebook group? Robin, I need to go check them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Denise said, great, thanks. I'm a member, so hopefully it will be obvious. I only have used Facebook in a very limited fashion. I had a page of my own when I was breeding Bengals, but it was for my kitty parents. Hopefully it'll give you a notification since you're in the group. That's what I'm hoping. I know that a long time ago when I did it, I think it gave a notification, but I know things change so much with all the different social media sites. So I have a feeling it'll be one of those things we kind of figure out as we go, just like we did here on YouTube. Or at least that we'll be striving to figure out, because I guess we haven't quite got the whole YouTube thing completely figured out, have we? Sally said, hi, y'all. Sorry I'm late. I will watch the replay, of course. I'm glad you made it. For the last couple layers, Sally. Christina said, I think maybe about a month and a half ago. I'm going to start looking too. I would like to find the first one. I have, in the last, probably starting... It wasn't in the beginning. I can't remember how far into the club where I really started to save a few. Like I kept a few back to make sure that I had one just in case I ever needed it. But in the very beginning, I don't have all of those. I have finished ones, but I didn't keep like a kit that wasn't made. So I would like to find some of those original ones too. Carmen said, have we made something previously with these fabrics for July? Yes, the Christmas Club. Yep. Those fabrics we've used a couple of different times in different variations. The snowflake one, I'm sure you guys recognize. I can't remember when we used it. I think we used it in the regular club, in the original club, for something. I'd have to look back through the library. Christine said, back to work, I'm afraid. Have a good afternoon. You too, Christine. Dubravka said, do you find working with ribbon is easier than cottons? No. Sometimes it's a little more difficult. It's a little more finicky. And I also feel like with the edges, you have to be extra careful to keep everything really straight, because if they're not really straight, you can see it a lot more. It's not that I find it difficult. I just don't find it easier than fabric. Fabric is easy and a little more forgiving, I think. Brenda said, a late to the party girl I am. And this is the one I'm the most interested in. Yay. We'll definitely rewatch this again and again. Thanks, Brenda. I had done some ribbon ornaments back in the beginning of Peaceful Pinning, back in the fall, too, for anybody who is interested in going back and seeing various ribbons, because they are all a little different. It's kind of like an experiment when you use ribbon. And especially like we were saying earlier, like with sheer ribbon, it can just kind of behave differently. If you want to make sure you don't have like pins showing from the layers below, things like that, it's always a little bit of an experiment. And you guys, you can mix ribbon with fabric too, especially if you have a really, really sheer ribbon. It can be helpful to put a layer of fabric in between, because that'll also help to hide and camouflage the pins that might be showing through your sheer ribbons. Brenda said, eBay has some right now. I just looked to see if I could find some. I think they're all Christmas Club. Wow. That's so funny. I didn't know that Ornament Girl kits were even on there. I mean, I've seen them here and there, but I didn't think it was like a thing where they're on, like, often. I'm going to have to go look. Terry said, I was inspired to make ornaments for my family from a jacket that my dad wore before he passed. I made ornaments out of the remnants of his jacket. They all cried. I bet, Terry. What a wonderful gift. Brenda said, I bought a huge box of wired ribbon for $10 at a big box store. No way. That's amazing. Was it like clearance? I'm assuming that must have been like a clearance box of ribbon. What a good deal. Christina said, looking for older kits. The ones that I have never seen are the OG kits from 2021, 2022, or 2023. Were you having to make less than because of COVID? Just curious. So those years, I didn't make less. In fact, I think we were... Let me think about what our numbers were then. So there was a good 4 or 5 years where we didn't open the club at all, like the VIP club for years. 5, it might have even been more than 5 years. We just finally last year in 2025 opened the VIP club up to, I think we opened it for like a couple hundred spots. And that might be why they were really hard to find then. The people who were in the club during those years were holding their spots because we weren't opening. And I wasn't ever going to open it again. And then last year, I decided finally that we would, because we've had a lot of people asking to join. I was going to let that club die out, to be honest, because it's hard to plan for. So anyway, we did open it last year. We got a few hundred people. We opened up a few hundred spots and it filled up. And I think we are planning for this like November-ish to open it again. And that'll be the next opening. I'm thinking that might be why you're having a hard time finding those years. And also older than that. I think the older than that years are difficult to find too. Tammy said, yes, Facebook, you can create an event. That's what you did in February 2025 for reflection when you did it. I didn't realize I had done one in there that recently. Tammy said, yes, you said Mario Lemieux right. He was my favorite hockey player when I was younger. Is he a goalie? No, he's not a goalie. I know who that is because I used to watch hockey, but it was a long time ago. Suzanne said, no, not my first, but these are not the flag pattern. I gave up on that. I made them layers like Nantucket. Oh, and I'm going to out myself. I have years of unmade little white boxes, but made ornaments all the time. We'll catch you up too, Suzanne. Tammy said, I still haven't done a Western Star. What? I thought you did lots of Western Stars, Tammy. Oh, you're talking about here. Me. I haven't done one. I was like, I know you've done them. Okay. Yeah, Western Star. That's a good one. That's a good one. Sherry said, perfect. I'll email. This is the problem with being behind in the comments, is that you guys will be referencing something that I said 10 minutes ago, and then I forgot that I said it. I forget what we're talking about. Christina said, that's good to know about needing more styrofoam balls. Would love to order more than 6 of the discs. Yep, if you write in, we can help you out with that. It's very hard to determine shipping for the foam, because it's like it requires a large box, because the foam is it's like shipping air. And the more you order, the bigger the box gets, and it starts getting really hard for our shipping calculator to calculate the correct shipping. So it's easier if you want more. It's easier if you write in and tell us how many you want, and then we can, and your address, and we can calculate the exact shipping, and it'll be much more precise. Suzanne said, yes, wrapped up was me. I thought it was. We need to do a really pretty Christmassy one. We had talked about a different theme too, but I can't remember what it was. Tammy said you've used that gold before. 100%. I've got a lot of rolls of this. I bought a whole bunch of it in the years that they had this out, because it's such a good accent color. So I've got a decent amount of that gold. I've got some silver like that too. It's like the same ribbon but in silver, but I do find that I use gold a lot more often. Okay, Robin, I will go check it out. Robbie said, yes, I posted. I will go check that out. You might be the first person to have posted it. Trish said, I am so late. Sorry. No need to be sorry, Trish. We're glad you're here. Carmen said, I thought so. If my memory serves me well, it might have been the bloom pattern. That's one we should do too. I like the bloom pattern. That's a pretty one. Christina said this one is super pretty. Love it. Thank you. Carmen said, I did make that one. The bloom pattern with the red and blue, right? I'm trying to remember. Maybe so. Maybe it was. Tammy said, have you tried the swirl with ribbon yet? I sure haven't. That would be a fun one to try on a Peaceful Pinning. That would definitely be an experiment. Becky said, I bought a few kits from eBay. Sherry said, I do keepsake wedding ornaments and I use their wedding dress fabric. Sherry, do you get nervous about making those? Every time we've talked about this before too on these Peaceful Pinnings. Every time I ever had like a custom ornament order with like something like that, a dress or bridesmaids dresses or something that was special, I was so nervous. Like I was so nervous that I was going to mess up their precious material or that they wouldn't like it or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, it made me have anxiety. I bet if you've done it a lot though, you've gotten more comfortable, right? Brenda said, I think it's the same seller for all the ones that I found. $19.99 and $6.95 shipping. Well, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, maybe they were unloading. Somebody who had built up their collection and then decided not to do it. Or possibly, you know, they're selling them from a parent that died maybe or something. I know that that's happened a couple of times, which is sad. Robin said, I was one of the lucky ones to get in last year with the VIP. Kat said, I love the VIP club. Thank you, guys. Christina said, well, I'm so glad that you opened again. I was lucky enough to grab a spot in the VIP. That's awesome. Sherry said, I love the in-memory idea, Terry. Kat said, if it weren't for the VIP club, I'd probably not be an ornamenter. That club is, I think it's pretty special because you get a kit, but it's with that new pattern every month. So like with the Christmas Club, we go back and revisit patterns because we have so many and we want to be able to use those patterns and make more kits. And there was a lot of people that were requesting more kits. That's why I started the Christmas Club. But the VIP, the original club, has been going since November 2015. So it's been going a while. And the fact that it's a new pattern every month and you get all the pieces all cut for that pattern, I think that is what makes it special. So as much as I was trying to kind of let that phase out because of how difficult it is to plan for, as far as like ordering fabric and planning out all that stuff, I realized last year that that wasn't going to happen because that's the one that people kept asking for the most. So here we are. The VIP is never going to die. It's going to be here. It's here for the long haul. I pinned a little too far, like too close in a few of these spots. So I might have to kind of adjust my pins a little bit. It's kind of hard to see my pins because of the glitter in the fabric. There was also a time a while back where I thought maybe I can stop doing ebooks for every pattern because people seem to like the videos. I originally was doing only ebooks and then we added videos a couple years in. And I thought maybe people don't really want the ebooks anymore and that would really make my life easier because the ebooks take a while to put together. And then I did a survey and we discovered that that was not going to happen either. The ebooks are never going to die either. Luckily, I have help now with those. Okay, so with this band, we kind of have a choice in how we want to do this. We could cut the edges off and make a band like this. Which is pretty, right? Or let me zoom in just a little bit more. Or we could utilize the edge. Try to get it like centered. You know how usually we put the raw edges on the bottom? We could actually do the opposite and have the edge showing and be kind of part of the look. So what do you guys think? Edge showing or not showing? I'll catch up on comments while you guys tell me what you think. Brenda said the last Monday of every month, Michaels makes boxes that are very large and they mark them $10 each. You cannot look inside the box. You just have to shake or whatever. They're at the front door. You're kidding me. How long have they been doing that? Is that just your store or is that like Michaels everywhere? I would go for that. Terry said thank you to Sherry. Georgianne said I made it home, but it stormed the whole 28 miles. I'm glad you're home safe and sound, Georgianne. Tammy said, yeah, we had talked about doing a Western Star on Peaceful Pinning. I've done a ton because I love that pattern. I knew that. As soon as I read your comment, I was like, yeah, of course you've made that one. Yeah, we did talk about that one and I had forgotten. Rosebud, Western Star, Wrapped Up. Those are the three I have in my head now. Brenda said the ribbon I could see through the handle hole. I wasn't sure what the rest of the box was, but I knew at least that it was a lot of ribbon because it was lightweight. What a steal. That's amazing. Becky said, I'm usually not big on gold, but this one's beautiful. Thanks, Becky. Carmen said, yes. Tammy said maybe doing a wrapped up with more whimsical, like polka dots for a birthday theme. That would be really cute. Terry said, Brenda, what kind of boxes? Sherry said the first cut is terrifying. I know, it is terrifying. It's so terrifying. Tammy said, me too, Robin. I was in the digital, but I got into the VIP and I was so excited. And you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up. What we did last year and what we're going to do again is open it up to digital members first. We're going to open up all the VIP spots to digital first, and then whatever doesn't sell out, we will then open to everyone else. Last year, if I'm remembering correctly, it sold out just from digital members switching. I could be wrong. I feel like it was at least mostly digital members, but yeah, that's what we do. And you guys, we're actually opening the digital club this week, Friday. It's going to be open Friday through Sunday. And then again, we're doing the VIP opening in, I think it's November. So it'll be right before Christmas time. Deborah said, I would love to join the VIP club. I'm in the digital and the Christmas club, but I would love the VIP. I hope that you get a spot then, Deborah. Like I said, we're going to open it up in November. And since you're already a digital member, it would be open to digital members first. So there's a lot more chance that you would get a spot. Carmen said that's a lot of new patterns to create. It is. And thank goodness I have a team now who help me, and they have so many ideas that now there's no chance of like running out of ideas. We have a couple years worth of patterns ahead. So that's great, exciting, and it helps me sleep at night. Robbie said, I love the ebooks. It's funny because I thought with the video, but like that people really didn't care for the ebooks anymore. But we've talked about this before too, but I think people like to do a run through with the video just to see it and then go back and use the ebooks later because you can follow at your own pace a little bit easier. Sherry said, I create a mock-up of the special order ornaments to make sure that they like the pattern and the placement of each fabric type, and that makes it less nerve-wracking. What a good idea, Sherry. That's awesome. That's so cool that you're doing that. Michelle said, I love the VIP club and I am always so excited to try a new pattern. Okay, I caught up. Becky said, show the edge. Kat said, show the edge. Actually, Kat said, ooh, show the edge. Peggy said, edge showing. Martha said, edge showing. Judy said, I like the edge showing. Suzanne said, no phasing out. Edge showing. Christy said, showing. Okay, this is like pretty much everyone saying showing. Kathy, Brenda, and Dina all said edge showing. Beverly said, there are times that I am watching a video and I just can't quite see what they're doing, so I can go to the ebook and zoom in. That's a good point too. Georgianne said, show the edge. Shalia said, edge showing. Michelle said, edge showing. Tammy said, edge showing. Carol said, edge showing. It's simply gorgeous. Thank you, Carol. Carmen said, I like both, but I think the edge showing is nice for a change. It's a good way to utilize that pretty edge. You know, and I guess it's a continuation of what we've been doing all along because we showed the edges coming out from the center of the star. All right, you guys, thank you for helping me make that decision so easily. It was a sweep. Nancy said, I've been in the VIP since 2018 and in the Christmas Club since it started. That's awesome. That is so awesome, Nancy. I'm going to give this a couple of pins. And we'll just work this around. The nice thing too with the edge is if I want to stick like maybe a pin in somewhere around the ball, that will really camouflage it, especially if I use a gold pin. So if this thing's wiggling around, and it can with ribbon a little easier because it's like more slippery than regular cotton fabric. Give it a couple of pins up there. So let me stick a gold pin at the bottom just to help hold this and keep it from sliding around. And I feel like it like blends right in. The pin kind of blends right into that edge. So that's nice. Jean said edge showing. Brenda said show the edge. Christina said, I love that second idea with the metallic edge showing. Love both ways though. Sherry said, I love the edge showing. I think every single person said edge showing. That's the first time that we've had every single person say the same. Trish said edge showing. Sherry said edge showing. Brenda said, I think that all the Michaels stores, you could always ask for at your local store. I will ask because I would love that. I love surprises. Christina said, I so wanted to join the VIP a long, long time ago when you still could, but I was single and living on my own and I just couldn't afford it. And then I very patiently waited for it to reopen. Kat said, oh, don't ever phase out the VIP club. Don't make us come and find you. Michelle said, Michaels also has a remnant box. I've gotten fabric for under 50 cents for a half a yard. Wow. I got to go to Michaels. It's been a while. There's no Michaels really close to me. It's like a good 50 minutes away. And I know we've talked about that before, but I need to go find myself a Michaels. Christina said, I feel the same way cutting someone's shirts for t-shirt quilts. Yeah, anytime that you're cutting something for someone that's like sentimental, oh my gosh, it's terrifying. Denise said, I think I have the best of both worlds. I'm a digital member and I can purchase a VIP kit from time to time. They're such a treat. Heaven knows that I have literally tons of fabric and always looking for more. Denise, that is a good point that you brought up. When we have extra kits, we put them in the secret store spot of our store where it's just for club members. So those extra kits are there for if you just want them every so often, but then you have the ebook and the video to use all your own fabrics too. Because of course you want to make them with your own fabrics too, even if you have the kit, right? Robbie said digital's where I started. Kathy said, Denise, I love it too, but I would definitely want a spot in the VIP. Cindy said, our Michaels here in Petersboro, Ontario, just do the boxes at Christmas for $10. Oh, only at Christmas. Okay. Kat said, when stores like AC Moore and Joann's went out of business, they dumpstered bolts of fabric and machines and all stock. The dumpster divers made out big time on the resale. I wish I would have gotten some of that. That would have been amazing. Alrighty, I've got some ribbons here, some old ribbons that I thought we could add in. I wasn't sure if this would be too much. I like it, but I also have some sheer dark red too that maybe we can mix in and just break it up a little bit. So let me start with a couple 7-inch pieces and we'll do a practice bow and see how it looks. I think I might do a couple of pieces of the gold in the bow because it's thin. And I think that would be pretty. It's been a while since I covered the place in glitter. So that's fun. Christina said, wow, I wondered if you'd ever run out of patterns. We're never going to run out of patterns. We have so many, you guys. There's so many pattern ideas between all the designers that, you know what our biggest worry is? Our biggest worry is that someone else, like a competitor, is going to come up with something similar before we can get ours out the door. Because that's happened a couple times. And we'll be like, darn it, we have that idea. There's been a couple that we've shelved because of that. And we try to put some out like as freebies on YouTube too. But we actually just recently were kind of talking and we're like, we might be like overwhelming people because there's so many, you know. I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So we're kind of trying to figure out the best way to do everything. Brenda said the Michaels boxes are very large, rectangular, 17 by 13 by 11. Tammy said, I prefer the videos, but I do sometimes use the ebook if we're watching a movie or something while I make an ornament. And Tammy, don't you also you do a printing out the printable supply list for each one and like putting it, was it you that had them in like a binder, like really organized with like the foam type and stuff? It was one of you guys. It was been a while since we talked about that. Pat said, I like the combination of ribbon and pattern. I see where Hobby Lobby is starting to put out some Christmas. They just can't let us celebrate each special holiday to the mostest. I know. It's July, folks. Christmas is here. Tammy said, fireworks are done. Time to put out the trick-or-treat candy. You know what's funny? Over the weekend when I was cleaning out up in my attic, I was trying to kind of reorganize all my ornaments and stuff so that I can like find them easily by time of the year. Because there's been a couple of times where I've wanted to show you guys, and like somebody asked a question about something and I'm like, I have that ornament, but where in the heck is it? So I was trying to organize and stuff, and I was thinking to myself, is it fall yet? 4th of July has passed. Is it time to get fall stuff out? So I'm just as bad. Cindy said dollars. The boxes are 2 feet long, 1 by 1 foot high and width. My friend and I picked up 10 boxes. It was great stuff. Wow. I would love that because I kind of love sifting through things anyway. I'm a thrifter. I love like treasure hunting and stuff. So that sounds like something I would love. I like that bow. I'm going to do another one like that. So that was my 7-inch pieces. Now I'm going to cut 6.5. Michelle said I missed when... Oh, it jumped on me. Let me find you again, Michelle. Oh, there it is. Michelle said, I missed when you said that you're opening up the digital club. I have a friend who's eager to join. We're opening up on Friday. I'm actually just I'm sending an email out about it tomorrow to anybody who's not a member already. Just like informational email about it. And then it opens on Friday. And I am just sending out in the Finished Ornament Friday email. So instead of sending like a separate email about it, it's just going to go out with our regular Friday email. And for those of you guys who are already in the club, you can ignore all that. I don't want you to think you have to rejoin or anything. You don't. You're good to go. I know that's a question that comes up sometimes. People will be like, do I have to rejoin? No, you absolutely do not. If you are currently a member, you don't have to do a thing. So don't be alarmed if you see me selling it in our email on Friday. Deborah said, no, keep the ebooks. Sometimes if I have trouble seeing what the fold is or how to do it, the ebook helps me understand. Don't worry, we are keeping the ebooks. I thought about it there for a bit, but you know what, you guys, I have a lot of help now. I used to write all the ebooks myself and do all the pictures and stuff, but we have Kennedy and Lydia that do it now, and they do such a good job. And it is so much less stressful. It's much better when several people are working on it. They do better than I ever did, to be perfectly honest. Kennedy is extremely, she's got such an attention to detail. So when she started doing the ebooks and stuff, she'd be like, I noticed in this ebook you wrote the words this way, but in this ebook you wrote them this way. What's the way you want it to be going forward so that we can be consistent? And she keeps it consistent, like the way that we use, like the verbiage that we use for folds, how we say to do things. She is so on it. And then Lydia, when we brought her on, she is the same way. So it's great. The ebooks are much better now and much less stressful to put together. So don't worry, we're not getting rid of them. Diane said, is it possible to still get E? And I think it got cut off, Diane. I'm thinking you meant the ebooks. But I don't know which ebooks you mean. So I will look further down to see if you finished your sentence. Kat said, if I were younger, I'd be a dumpster diver for sure, but probably not to resell, more for myself, family, and friends. Exactly. That's what I would want to do it for, too. I love collecting stuff. I am not a minimalist, you guys. I tried to be for a little while, and I was like, this ain't working. Sherry said, I can't find gold pins anywhere. Do you special order? Gold pins is a thing. I used to get them from a place on Etsy, and we've talked about it here in the Peaceful Pinning too. So if any of you guys have any other places that you can share, please pop it in the comments for gold pins. We can't really get them anywhere where it's cheap enough that we would resell them, but the place that we've been getting them lately is Cartwright's Sequins, and it's spelled CartWright, I believe. But if you just Google Cartwright Sequins, that's where we've been getting our gold sequin pins. And they're pretty nice. I loved the ones that we used to get from Crafty Elephant on Etsy, but she couldn't get them anymore after a while. The manufacturer stopped making them, and that's been the case for a lot of things lately. Michelle said, absolutely beautiful ornament, so elegant. Thank you, Michelle. Dubravka said, I love the edge showing too. Tammy said, that's gorgeous. Thank you, Tammy. Martha said, Tammy, I was not aware that there was a put away season for the candy. Learn something every day. Did I miss that comment? I may have missed that one. Diane said, oh, still get the ebook instructions to make the birdhouse ornament. Yes, that was a club ornament a couple of years ago. And if you're a member now, you can go back and buy old club patterns. So if you're a member now, you can scroll down in the pattern library for the club kits and find that pattern. And when you click on that icon, if it shows that you don't own it, just click it anyway, and it'll take you to the secret store where you can get it. So to answer your question, yes. I forgot about that. That's a pattern that hasn't really come up a lot since. We should do a Christmas birdhouse. Like a really Christmassy, fancy birdhouse in the Christmas Club. That would be cute. That is such a cute ornament. Like a cute pattern. Tracy said, very beautiful. Thank you, Tracy. Georgianne said, Sherry, I found gold pins at Hobby Lobby with the sequins. Christy said, the only Michaels in Wyoming is in my town and it has no fabric. Maybe they'll be getting it eventually. I know some of them are slower than others, it seems like. And some of them only have a little teeny bit. And then there's been others of you guys who have reported that their Michaels is doing pretty good in the fabric department. Brenda said, Stacy, just make sure you're there when they open the doors. They sell fast. Okay. I bet they do. And what a great idea. So they're getting rid of like old stuff that way. That's fantastic. Christina said, Denise, same here. If I so don't need more fabric, but I keep buying it. It's hard not to. Kat said, well, shoot. I would dumpster dive in stores that are still in business. They throw out good stuff too. Old stock and stuff that they just didn't sell. Might as well get it for free. Plastic gloves and a picker-upper. That's right. Robin said, that's so pretty. Thank you. Deborah said, edge. We have every vote has been for the edge showing. My loops are wonky. There we go. My red in the ribbon is like slightly different than the red on the ribbon here, but this is a weird red. I think it's because it has like this tonality in it. It's kind of darker when you look at it in some ways, and then it's more bright when you look at it the other way. It's like changing, but with the bow on, I think it looks okay. We need a hanger. Sherry said, Christina, can you make quilts out of sports jerseys? I want to make a quilt for my daughter of all of her soccer jerseys. How cool would that be? That would be so neat. Christy said, I didn't realize that you had competition. You're the best. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that. Sherry said, how do you keep the pin from pulling out of the ball when they're hung? So if you haven't pin too much through, and if you use a long enough pin, usually that'll do it. But if not, if it's like a heavy ornament, or if you've really like maybe repinned a few times and you got like, it's kind of worn up there, you could stick a little bit of glue underneath your hanger and in between of the hanger and your top bow. And that will usually do the trick. Denise said, oh boy, I'm really late today. We're just glad you're here. Georgianne said, Christina, yes, you can use jerseys to make a t-shirt quilt. You just have to use a stabilizer on the back. Sherry said, I have all mine in a binder. Tammy said, I do print the cheat sheets for cutting, and I have... It jumped on me, of course, right when I'm in the middle of the sentence. There we are. Tammy said, I do print the cheat sheets for cutting, and I have them in a binder. I knew it was something that you had said, that you have like the, not the whole ebook, but just the parts that you can just go to for a reference really easily, which I love that idea. Because the ebooks is too much to print the whole thing. I know some people do, but it's a lot. But just printing like supply lists or cheat sheets, I think, is a really good idea. Jean said, I print out the 3V pages. The 3V. Do you mean like the first three? I'm not sure what you mean there, but I think I know. And have 5 3-inch binders right now. You have five binders to go with your 80 kits. Jean, we got to get you going on these kits. Cindy said, I print out the supply list and then I take a picture of each ornament and I put it in a binder, and I have another binder with the templates. I like that idea. A template binder. Christina said, Sherry, if it's a thinner hole jersey, yes, I wouldn't suggest with the wider hole jerseys due to having to press the interfacing to the back side of the jersey. The sticky will come through. Martha said, how long are your ribbons? The ribbons on the top, I cut the first bow pieces 7 inches, and then I cut the middle bow pieces 6.5 inches. And then the top bow pieces I cut to 6 inches. And then I just made them, all those 3 bows separately. And it made it like a tiered effect, since the bottom ones were longer than the top ones. I'm thinking a gold bead would be nice up top here. Just a regular old gold bead. I'm using a regular pin because I want it to be longer. The sequin pins are nice, but they're a little shorter, and I don't want this to pull out really easily. My phone is just ringing off the hook today. Sorry about that, guys. This ornament is super lightweight, even with all these layers, and it's because of that ribbon, that lightweight ribbon. So I'm not really worried about this pulling out. I think it'll be just fine. But yeah, if I was worried about it, I would stick a little glue. And you know what? You could even put glue like up underneath the first, if you were worried about the glue showing, you could put the glue up under like the first bow, in between of the second and third bow. I said first bow because it was the top one, but like underneath of the second and the top bow, you could stick glue there. And then when you pin down through that glue, that's going to help hold that hanger in place too. So you could do it that way too if you were worried about the glue showing. I always use this clear craft glue because it dries clear and it doesn't really show, which is good. Barbara said, really late, but a beautiful ornament. Thank you, Barbara. Dubravka said, wide ribbons that you used, are they 2 inches or 3 inches? The wide ribbons were 2.5 inches, and then I cut them in half lengthwise. So I was able to get twice as much out of it. And then the red ribbon that I used here, that was 1.5. Brenda said, I just ordered gold pins from Cartwrights yesterday. Tammy said, Hobby Lobby has 3/4 inch and a 1/2 inch in gold and silver if you have a Hobby Lobby near you. The 3/4 inch is a good length too, I think. 1/2 inch is great for the really tiny things like beads and sequins and stuff. But if you're using it for anything else, like to hold something on, then the 3/4 inch is pretty good. Tammy said, are you going to add the Christmas Club tutorial for the Hunter Star to the original Hunter Star page? That way was so much easier. Yeah, we probably will. I think we usually do that. So we might have forgotten. So I will find out if Sarah's planning to add that on there. And thank you for that reminder. Denise said, I don't have little white boxes waiting, but I have loads, probably 50 patterns cut, bagged, and ready to grab for when I have time. However, other ornaments keep getting prioritized. Time is lacking element. At least they're ready to go. That's awesome. You could grab and go when you're on when you're the passenger in a road trip or something. Sydney said, I've been using nail polish to color the tips for pins. I can't find gold or black anywhere. Nail polish or like permanent marker is a great idea. Trish said birdhouse with pine cones on top. That would be so cute. I think that would be adorable. Tammy said, I did a red cardinal print birdhouse with a white roof last year or the year before. It turned out so cute. I bet it did. Now that I got that idea in my head, we got to do that. We got to do that. Christy said, nope, my Michaels is too small to have the fabric. I asked when they announced that they were getting the Joann's fabric. Bummer. So never? They might change their mind if they think it'll bring in some money, even if it is small. Tony said this ornament is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Tony. It jumped on me again. Kathy said, beautiful ornament. I still need to put a ribbon ornament together. Thanks for the inspiration, Stacy. And you are so welcome. I'm happy to inspire you. If you make one, you have to let us know how it turns out. Peggy said, people just don't understand that buying fabric and using fabric are two entirely different hobbies. That's so true. I feel like that's with all the craft things, like beads. I mean, I do that with beads so bad. Like, I keep buying beads, and then I'm like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that, and the beads, they remain on the counter. Shalia said, such a beautiful ornament. Perfection. Very special indeed. Thank you, Shalia. I appreciate that. Becky said, oh my stars, and garter belts, as my mom would say. I've never heard that one. That's beautiful. Thank you, Becky. Robin said, I use corsage pins or brooch pins. That's a good idea. The brooch pin, that's such a good idea. Corsage pins are nice too. They're real nice and long, and they're thicker, so they can just like go in there and stay. Martha said, this is just gorgeous. I have to try some ribbon on one. Thanks for the ribbon sizes. You are very welcome. Sherry said, Christina, where can I message you? Robbie said, that is so pretty. Thank you. Nancy said, I print the supply list, and if it needs a template, I'll print that too, and I put it all together in a plastic sheet in a binder. Yeah, I like that idea, because it's not too much, but it's like reference. I think that's perfect. Sherry said, beautiful, as always. Thank you, Sherry. Louise said, very pretty ornament. Thank you. Suzanne said, this came out so pretty. You guys are very kind. Thank you. Tammy said, my fingers are too fat for the 1/2-inch pins. They're a little bit more difficult. I feel like they're really nice if you have something super itty bitty and you just don't want to have like overkill, the big old pin, but they're hard to work with, like harder to work with. Sherry said, Christy, she's the best indeed. I would never even attempt to compete with her. You can't. She's the ornament girl. Sherry, thank you. You guys are very nice. Thank you. Tammy said black nail polish should be around during Halloween. That's true. That's a good time to find the black. Georgianne said, Stacy, I made Liberty on Saturday. I didn't do the swirl. I just alternated the red and white and blue layers. I'm sure that was beautiful. So how come you didn't do the swirl? Did you try it, or did you just decide I'm not even going to bother? And Georgianne, I know you were like nervous about doing an angel. Did you like it? Nancy said that ornament is so gorgeous. Thank you. Tammy said, who's on tomorrow? Oh, that's a good question. Who is on tomorrow? It's not Sarah. Sarah is on next week. I think it's Kennedy. Let me look really quick. I think it's Kennedy, but it should be on our calendar. Oh man, I'm logged out. It's gonna make me do a whole... It's going to make me do a whole thing. Hang on, I gotta go to the Authenticator app. 1 second, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's Kennedy. hope it's on this calendar because that would be horrible if I'm doing all this and it's not even there. Okay, it's Kennedy. It's Kennedy. Now I have to find where I'm at. Peggy said, you're right, Stacy. It's the same with yarn too. My craft room is living proof. Kat said, this is so gorgeous. So gorgeous is what Kat said. Thank you, Kat. Denise said, such a beautiful ornament. Thank you, Denise. Georgianne said, I've made 6 angels. Okay. So, Georgianne, did you just decide not to do the Stars and Stripes design like right from the get-go, or did you try it and then we're like, nope? Tammy said Lydia was on last week, so if Sarah's on next week, that leaves Kennedy. Yep, process of elimination. Sherry said you made it to the end. Yay, I did, I'm at the end. Christina said that's it. After dinner, I'm going down to pick out ribbons and make this one, not putting it off anymore. Christina, let us know how it goes. You're going to like it. You have to get used to working with the ribbon, but once you get it, like, stick with it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Tammy said, we love you all, but I was curious. Thank you. Denise said that ornament is beautiful. Thank you, Denise. Dubravka said, thank you, Stacy. Gorgeous, perfect ornament. Love it. Thank you so much. It's definitely not perfect, guys, but I'm glad you like it. All right, so tomorrow you'll have Kennedy. I don't know yet what she's making, but she'll be on tomorrow. Thursday, I will be on Facebook doing a live, but then I'll be back here on YouTube on Friday, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I feel like this was a long one. I was about to say I feel like this was a long one, but I can see that it was. 2 hours, you guys. We were on for 2 hours tonight. Georgianne said, yes, it was a stress-free day, and it just stuck with what I know. That's smart. May as well not add stress to the end. And just making them stripes is just as pretty. Brenda said, so pretty. Thank you. Michelle said, thank you, Stacy. I love this time with you and the OGs. I do too, Michelle. Thank you so much for hanging out. Tracy said, thank you for sharing. It's been fun. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. You guys too. I will see you on Thursday on Facebook. I'll see you Friday here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight for this long one. And I hope you guys have an awesome night. Happy ornamenting.